So today is the vlog of all vlogs because I've been working on finishing up my schoolwork. Last night was the very last day for me to take a final, and I took my very last one yesterday, so the semester is finally finished. But I haven't been locked in on Vlogmas because of that. So I have been I want to say I'm 3 days behind, which is totally fine because honestly, when you vlog and you do Vlogmas, you kind of do it on your own time. I know there should be a set schedule and we should be making sure we put vlogs out every day, but realistically, as a mother, a 36-year-old, and somebody who just isn't only sole focused on this, it's okay. It's fine. We live, we survive. And so I'm just catching up. So I'm going to do 10, 11, and 12 in one vlog. So right now we're working on day 10, and I am going to be doing a vision board and a Q&A. So I've got some questions that I'm going to read off and answer while I put this together. I'll show off my vision board that I made this summer, talk about that a little bit, and then at the end I will put a picture of the vision board up here, but I can't actually flip it up and show you because I forgot to get tape, and none of it will be actually stuck on the board. I have these that came with the kit that I got from a bookstore for a vision board, but I really only used it for the cork board. I didn't actually use a lot of the stuff because it's more about health and happiness, which is good, but not what I'm looking for. So right now I'm cutting out certain things that I'm gonna have on it. I've got some pictures as well, and then I'm gonna show you guys. So let's get into that. I think the only reason that I wanted to make a vision board is to hold myself accountable and to remind myself of goals, because I have ADHD like a motherfucker and I get distracted very easily. So it's easy for me to kind of get off task. And so, which is definitely why I have a Danny, because she keeps me on task. But this vision board is going to be a reminder, something for me to look at and go, this is why I'm doing it, because I do also get very discouraged easily, and having something like this pretty board to remind me of why I'm doing what I do is why I chose to make another vision board in 2026. Yes, and the reason that I believe vision boards work is because it's really just another tool of accountability. So when you make a vision board, you're kind of making yourself a promise that that's something that you're going to work on. So when you have that vision board to look back and you go, oh, okay, I said I was going to start a podcast, I was going to read 50 books. You have the vision board to look at and go, yes, that's what I plan on doing this year. That's what I'm going. So I think vision board works, but it's also because you put in the work. Vision boards, you don't just make a vision board and then all of a sudden everything comes true. You have to work for it. So yes, vision boards work when you work. So how I chose the theme for my vision board was I just kind of sat down and I thought about some of the goals that I have for this coming up year, and then I went and I printed pictures to kind of go with that theme. So I guess how I chose the theme was I just based it off of the things that I want to accomplish and the things that I'm doing. So traveling, I really, really want to put forth the effort in my YouTube channel myself, half the plot, and I also want to put that effort and forth to my podcast. I want to make sure that my kids have the life that they want and that it's fulfilling, and so happiness and everything like that. So I kind of just went on there and I just printed off sayings, some things that kind of indicate travel. I've got some stuff down for my podcast that I plan on putting on. We're just gonna cram it all together. So yeah, that is how I chose the theme. I just based it off of all of the goals that I want to accomplish and work on this year. Honestly, I think the goal that I'm most excited about is the podcast. I have been kind of throwing ideas out there. I finally have someone that was as excited to work on it with me, and to plan and to plot and to do all of this. So that is what I'm most excited for, is that podcast. It is going to be so fun. We're gonna go and do so many crazy different things, and I'm gonna manifest that we have some bomb ass guests on there. Like, I genuinely have so many people that are like down to like do that with us, but I also have my like dream list of people, and I'm not gonna say because I'm just gonna manifest it, but I have my dream guest list, and I think if we really work hard and we do that, that the podcast is really going to be something amazing. What am I most scared of? And I think that it's the fact that like traveling, because that's what we're doing with our podcast, is we're like going to be traveling, and that gets expensive. And until we really start to like pull in some money or make anything that way, like it's going to be iffy whether or not like certain things can go down. I mean, I'm always going to work to make things work. That's kind of how life is. You have to work to make things work. But I think in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, what if we have like this really cool interview set up and then it just doesn't work out because, you know, I can't get to the place that I want to get to. So that is my biggest fear, is that there's going to be a wall that's going to stop me from really pursuing where I want to go. Yes. I really do enjoy like witchcraft, and I like doing spells, and I like that, but I did not add that into my board for 2026 because honestly that is just something that I prefer to do all the time. Tarot and all that, like I really want to work on my tarot and like learning how to read palms and numerology, but the reason that I didn't add that in is that's something that I'm just going to be working on all the time. It's not something that I wanted to put on the board to be a main focus. Everything on my board is going to be like just something that I'm locking in on and I'm seriously focusing on, that I want to make sure that I fully have achieved or I'm close to achieving before the end of next year. So yeah. Both of those things. I already have a vision board that I made. That's my very first vision board. But as far as these go, I think every year I might just get a new cork board or a new situation, and I think I'll just extend it. Even if I've accomplished those things, I still want to look back and see that it was on my vision board and like that I actually did it. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's updated, but it's also something that we continue to add on to, update, add on to, whatever. But yeah, and I do like to make new ones. I think 2027 will have its own board, and we'll just continuously put them together until it's this giant board where I've got 10 years worth of things that I wanted to work on, so I can look back and say that was crazy, I have no idea why that's on there, or I can look back at it and say I can't believe I actually did that. Let me be real, I'm really, really bad at displaying them and keeping them. They kind of just pull up and they appear everywhere. I'm very unorganized, and that is by a default. But I think what I like to do is I kind of do have an office area that's like back in by my laundry room, and I think I'm gonna like clean that out fully and finish painting it, and then I'm gonna start hanging these up on the wall. I think it's important that I see these, and obviously I want to start like working on stuff. I want to start working things out. So I'm yapping. To answer that, I'm going to display this in my office, in my room where all of my witchcraft stuff is, and where all of my junk is, and where I play The Sims. If I could, I would, but I don't think I'm in the position to give anybody advice about staying focused. That is actually one of my goals this year, is to learn to stay focused and to kind of just, what's the word I want to use? I'm not good with words. I want to stay focused and I want to stay motivated. So maybe the best thing I can do, instead of giving the advice of how to, is how I plan on doing that. And that's by looking at my boards. That's by setting reminders, using a planner, and just staying on top of it. And really, the moment I get a crazy idea, I'm just going to immediately tell my co-host Danny. And then when she's like, girl, no, I just know it's not it. But, you know, sometimes you need that person to like kind of bring you down to earth. Very grateful for Danny, because she will absolutely be that person and she will bring me down to earth. So again, how am I going to stay on top of things is a better question. Okay, so far for my vision board, this is what I have. I'll add to it. I'm obviously going to stick these down with tape once I get tape. I didn't use all the things that I printed out, and I might add some more pictures to it, but genuinely that's the vibe that I'm going with. You know, I've got Allie on there, I've got Danny on there, I've got all of people from the family on there, I've got pictures of me, I've got my kids, I've got some of the goals, something that says I'm exactly where I need to be right now, and I think that is the truth, because where we end up every month, every day is where we're supposed to be. So if we're not sure why something is happening, we can question that why, but just know that the reasoning behind us being where we are is because we are where we're supposed to be. So anyway, that ends day 10, and now I'm getting ready to film and put together day 11. Then we're going to wind down with some day 12. So please stay tuned. And I'm sorry if I'm boring. I try not to be. I just am. So here is day 11. Day 11, I have chose to put together some Burr baskets for all 4 of my daughters, plus my niece, who's basically like my child. And I went to Dollar Tree and I got mostly everything. Some things I did get from Walmart just because Dollar Tree didn't have them. But as far as like a budget, don't ask. Don't ask, don't do that. First of all, excuse my hair because I had to just pull it back and tie it because it was just all over the place. It was in my face, I couldn't stand it. Anyway, I'm gonna build these Burr baskets with you, but I'm gonna talk about what I am adding to them. So first of all, majority of this stuff came from the Dollar Tree. So for example, the baskets that I found and I picked are these cute little wire baskets. Now, I think these are typically for like papers and stuff on your desk, but I'm like, this is really cute. And it was $1.25. And so I grabbed 5 of these, obviously for the baskets. Now I know that they're like big, so you can't really, like, stuff will fall through it. So for the basket itself, I got some tissue paper. I'm gonna take a piece of tissue paper, I'm gonna put it over to kind of leave a barrier in between. And then I'm gonna put some decorative shredding paper in there. And along with that, I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of confetti into it. I don't know, I think it's cute. It's just a little extra to make it a little bit more festive. So we're gonna do that. Now, before this, I put pictures and everything that's going into these baskets. I'll put the prices of them on the pictures as well. So don't worry about that part. Okay, so first things first, cute basket, some tissue paper that I'm gonna have to rip, I think, to open. Maybe. Yeah. That's fine. I'll only just use about 1 or 2 pieces anyway. So far I've got the basket, and then I've got the tissue paper down to leave like a barrier so nothing falls through. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this, and probably only about a handful because I don't want to use the whole thing, and I'll probably spread it out. I'll add a couple of different pieces, but like I said, like, you don't need a whole lot. It's not that deep mentally and physically, so you can just do just a little bit. I might do just a little bit more than just a handful, but maybe 2 handfuls. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the confetti. just because I think it looks cute. But, and this is what I have so far. Now I'm gonna start adding stuff to it, and like I said, this is very shallow, so I'm not exactly sure like how this is all gonna fit in there, and we'll have to like work it out to where they do. But you know, we'll start adding stuff in here. A little drink, a little cup. This kind of goes with the drink, so I'm gonna open up the glitter drink bombs, which I've been seeing these all over TikTok, and I would have loved to have gotten some off TikTok, but they're really expensive on there, and I thought that was crazy. So I was like, no, not doing that. Just the cutest. I have to add, I've added these in there, and actually I think that they have, oh, they do. So on the lid, which you can't really see, they have these little hooks, and these are technically supposed to be like ornaments. Like you're supposed to hang them on your tree. I think that's really funny. Could you imagine a tree just full of Nutella? That would be insane. Anyway, so I've got this like put together already, and I'm just going to show you what I have, because there is one more thing that I'm adding to all of these, which, like I said, everything from this was from the Dollar Tree, but there are a couple things that I got from Walmart, and there is one thing that I'm adding that was from Target. So I just showed you the finished product of building the basket. I'm going to build all the rest of them like off camera, but I just wanted to build just one and show you the Burr baskets that I'm giving out to my daughters and my nieces. However, this might kind of turn into a little bit of an infomercial, and I'm not sorry, because I ordered online from Target a little addition here, and this is what I'm putting in there. Space Camp. So these ones are at Target. They're $9.99 a piece. Right now I think they're $8.99 for a limited time, but this is a limited edition flavor. So once it's gone, it's gone. The cool peppermint. And when I tell you, it tastes, it smells the best. Like it literally is like a real candy cane, but it's not sticky, it's not waxy, it's not gross. When I tell you I love Space Camp, I love Space Camp. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna make this a Space Camp infomercial because I absolutely could, but each of these Burr baskets are getting one. All of my kids do like to use my Space Camp, and so I thought, why not do a little seasonal gift, and everybody is getting Space Camp. But anyway, that one is, like I said, 10 bucks I paid for it. So I wanted this whole basket to kind of be 15 or less. With this on there, it's not gonna be, because that would mean that this is $10 and then everything else would have had to be $5, and it's not even close. So like I said, if you want to know what the budget for it is, don't ask. I don't know, but I will put the prices over some of the things that I bought so you can add it up if you're that nosy. But anyway, thank you for watching day 11 of this Vlogmas and me building these Burr baskets. I'm gonna finish building these, and I will see you guys later for day 12, which is just a get on ready with me. And then I have some more questions from my Q&A that I didn't ask before that I'm gonna kind of read off and talk about when I do the get on ready with me. So we're almost there, guys. Thank you. All right, finally, day 12. Let's do some skincare. Let's answer a couple of questions and get this Vlogmas day 10, 11, and 12 done. Truthfully, my relationship with aging is like a love and hate relationship. I love that I get to experience growing old, because some people don't. But like, I struggle with self-confidence, and like, you know, we start to look like we're aging, and that's normal, but it's a big fear of mine. Like, I just don't want to look tired. I don't want to look sad. I don't want to look decrepit, and I feel like that's kind of where I am headed towards as I age. You know, everybody wants to cling to their youth, but, you know, obviously you have to get used to aging, and that's quite a normal thing. Honestly, the way my skin has changed is I've noticed I'm losing like the elasticity to it. So like I'm seeing like the bottom of my chin is starting to like fold up and double up, and I've noticed that like my eyelids are starting to kind of droop. I'm definitely noticing a lot of signs of aging, and I think that's really scary for me because in my mind, there's no way that I'm almost 40, but my body is definitely like kind of showing those signs of like obvious aging and crow's lines, crow's feet, whatever they're called, and all of that. So that's kind of what I've noticed as far as like changes in my skin. I don't love them, but it's okay for people who do love them and embrace them. Like I said, aging is a beautiful thing and it's taken for granted, but it is hard to come to terms with it when it's your body and you're noticing and you're seeing all of those changes like happen to you, and you just kind of like don't feel like they should be. I don't know how to explain it, but it's more of a confidence issue. But yeah, those are the changes that I'm seeing and I'm going through and trying to like accept. I'm trying to not sound like a pessimist this whole video. So to answer this question properly, I started to really notice things about my skin and my aging this year as I turned 36. I think it's because I'm hyper aware of how close to being 40. And you know, when you're in your teens and in your 20s, you think like 30 and 40 is so old. Trust me, it is not. But now I'm really starting to realize that like my youth is definitely gone and it's time to embrace like pure adulthood. And I think that's frightening. I don't see myself as a real adult, even though I am, and a whole mother and I have kids. So it's kind of putting me in an existential crisis, if you will, as far as the effects that I've noticed on my face and my body. And it's insane. This is probably an unpopular opinion, but I eat that shit up. I love cosmetic surgery and procedures, and I feel like if it's something that you want to change about yourself and it's for you, change it. I am somebody who, if I had unlimited funds, would be all up in that Botox. I'd be getting lip injections, chin injections. I'd be doing anything and everything I can to look so young, which is sad. I know some people are like, you should love yourself. And I do. I would. I would absolutely love myself if I could look younger. Realistically, I need to appreciate myself and love myself a little bit more, but I'm going to be honest, I don't think it sets a bad example for my kids. I think for my daughters, if you are comfortable and happy in your skin, stay that way. If you want to change something, change it. The only thing that I think they should understand is that it should only be for them and themselves only. Don't change yourself for some man, ugh. Don't change yourself for some bitch, ugh. Just change yourself for you. If you want bigger boobs, if you want a different body, if you want this, if you want that, I always support and say go for it, but do it for your own premises and not for other people's insecurities. You feel me? The short answer is absolutely there is. The longer answer is too much for this little bit of time that I have left. But the only thing I can say is if you're comfortable with you and that's how it works for you, go do it. If you prefer to get surgery, go do that. Like, I'm never going to tell somebody how to do things for themselves. But for me, if I had the money, I would do it. Otherwise, I think that it's just coming to terms with aging and trying to find ways that make you feel more confident and look better for yourself. Okay, days 10, 11, and 12. They're all edited, put together. I answered questions for the first and the second video, and I did a voiceover in the last one. I'm not very good with voiceovers. I'm working on that, which is why I went ahead and did it anyway, because I need to get better. But thank you so much for sticking around and watching all of that. I'm gonna go back and try and put like which days, like when to watch which days if you want to skip through it, or you can just skip through it on your own. I don't care. But Thank you. Tonight, we're going to go see some lights. I will do that video up, and that will probably be up like way later. I'm going to say probably 10, 11 o'clock. That one will be up of us going to see lights, and then boom, I'm finally on track. Again, I'm sorry if you're somebody who actually watches this and you're kind of feeling let down because I haven't been doing it like I'm supposed to. I went to film the third day, so not the third day, but like day 12. Last night, my phone died. I had to charge it, and then while it was charging, I fell asleep. So I apologize for not putting it out last night like I should have, but it is coming out. I'm going to say it's probably going to be out in the next couple of hours because it's about 25 minutes due to it being 3 separate days. Well, 3 individual days on there. So once it's uploaded, I'll post on Instagram, and I will also post on TikTok. And usually for those, I do like a little short, and I just kind of do like a little edit of the video, but that's not the video. I think some people on TikTok are thinking that's all I'm doing is those. But if you look in the description, there is a link that will send you to the video. So please watch my shit. I'm really trying, okay? Anyway, thank you.